Good morning, this is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. Hope you're all well. Okay, let's do a quick catch up on what is driving markets today. Overnight, the futures in the States and the futures in Europe are all down, and that is basically on the back of the escalation in the war between Russia and Ukraine, and also the announcement that Europe has agreed to bar Russia from the international bank transfer system called SWIFT. That will have a major impact on businesses that have done or are doing business with Russia, and also have an impact on Russia doing businesses with the rest of the world, because that is the global payment system. You've also got a mixed bag today. You've got some cryptos that are up. So Bitcoin's up by $378. You've got some other cryptos that are floating around, so there's a bit of uncertainty as to where we're going regarding financial markets, where we're going regarding cryptos. Also, Putin announced that he's put the nuclear whatever it's called, the nuclear battalion on red alert, okay, on high alert. Does he actually plan to launch a nuclear attack? I don't think so, but the fact that he's put his nuclear battalions on high alert is a further threat to the West, and that's definitely causing a degree of uncertainty. What are the alternatives for Russia if it doesn't have the SWIFT system? Well, it's got the Chinese system, which is the CIPS, which is the cross-border interbank payment system. And if you're a member of that system, which Russia is, then you can have payments transacted via China. So I don't think coming out or blocking Russia on the SWIFT system is going to have such a major impact. It'll have an impact, but Russia will get around its payments simply by using the Chinese system, the CIPS. You have to remember that Russia is the second biggest producer of oil and gas in the world. So you're going to have all the world demanding Russian gas and Russian oil. And I don't think the Europeans are going to be so thrilled to start cutting off that supply, considering they've already had supply problems as a result of the pandemic. So that's probably going to continue somehow, and the headline will be sanctions, but I think they'll get around some sort of supply of Russian gas and oil. I don't think that's 100% going to be a closed sanction. Furthermore, you've also got the nuclear agreement, which is about to be signed with Europe and Iran, probably the stupidest agreement ever signed in the history of mankind. That will allow effectively Iran to build a nuclear bomb and provide it to all of its proxies, as I mentioned last week. So keep an eye on that, because you could have some terrorists with a nuclear warhead walking around Europe, America or Asia, and feeling free to just drop a half a kilo nuclear warhead unless they get their demands fulfilled. So work that one out. What have you got also this week? You've got the main item you've got this week is Jerome Powell is going to report to Congress on the monetary policy of the Federal Open Market Committee and what it's looking like going forward. Remember that he's also going to have to report on inflation. He's probably going to report on headline inflation, because core inflation is running at around about 15-20%. The headline inflation in the States is running at about 7.2%, which is well below, or reportingly below where it really is. So it'll be reporting to the Congress. You've also got some companies in the States reporting. You've got Zoom, you've got Salesforce, you've got Best Buy. These are all going to be indicators. As noted yesterday, I said Foot Locker dropped by over 30% because they missed their targets, and also the guidelines going forward were very, very confusing, and that added to uncertainty. However, Foot Locker, as one of my colleagues stated, is a major brand in the States, and the US and the US and the Americans all wear sneakers, so I don't think it's going to go bust, but it was just a sign of the times where companies don't reach their targets, and that's it, they're hammered down. On the 15th of March, you've got the 2-day FOMC meeting, which will decide where rates are going to go. You have to remember, interest rates have not risen in the States, even though there's indication that rates are going to rise. But with the Ukraine-Russian crisis, there's talk among central banks, mistakenly, in my opinion, to delay the bond buyback program, not to raise interest rates, otherwise it could hack the economy, but that would just cause inflation to be further fueled and race off with no controls whatsoever. So again, inflation is the central point, but you've got geopolitical issues at the moment with Russia, Ukraine. As long as Russia, Ukraine are on the headlines and that war is escalating, that's going to cause extreme volatility to the markets, as we've seen over the weekend and going into this week. If you need to get hold of me, contact me on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, subscribe, do the likes, spread it around. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. Have a good day.